that, but it says a word there. It says man.
Isn't man in law also a woman?
No. What's the definition of man?
Well,
one of the definitions of man.
Well, legal definition of man.
Of or the same quality.
You've lost me.
Well, of or the same quality. So
As what?
Right. The people the document was wrote for.
The barons.
Absolutely. Pick another one. 38.
Well, I think we need to go into this one a bit more.
No, go. I'll explain what I mean. 39.
Pick a number. If you'd like to text in the number you'd like me to pick. Right, 39, OK. No free man shall be seized or imprisoned or stripped of his rights and possessions or outlawed or exiled or deprived of his standing in any other way, nor will we proceed with force against him or send others to do so, except by the lawful judgment of his equals or by the law of the land.
Gave the world trial by jury.
Sorry?
It gave the world trial by jury.
OK.
Trial by a common law jury.
But not all offences go before a jury, do they?
No, but they're meant to. That's
and
the
there is pressure now to end jury trials.
Well, of course there is.
Panel of judges.
The jury is the most powerful element in any court of law.
Well, they're probably the most unpredictable, aren't they?
But if you want to see a corporate court of law work with a jury, look at the de Menzies trial when you look at the tribunal, because what did the judge say to the jury?
You cannot pass a verdict of unlawful death.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I think that was it. I've got the words wrong, but that was roughly it.
The jury can null the law if they believe it to be unjust. They use what's called discretion. So the difference between common law and civil law is, or commerce law, UCC code, whatever you want to call it, in common law there's discretion. So the jury could look at something, and a classic example, there was a girl, 18 years old, hung in the 16th century for shoplifting. Yeah? She went up in front of the beak, she was hung for shoplifting, she actually went up in front of a magistrate. But the jury could have looked at that, and they could have gone, well, she was desperate. Her husband had been press-ganged and was fighting abroad. She had no food to feed her children, no wood to burn on the fire, she was smashing furniture, and all she took was a piece of cloth to try and make something for her children to wear. That's what she took. But she didn't actually take it. She put it under her apron and then put it back because she realised someone had seen her. She was hung at 18 years old. A jury would have seen that and said, well, the discretion is, yeah, she did do something wrong. Yeah, it is a bit prolific shoplifting at this moment in time. But the girl should not die for that. And that's when they can start to go against. See, the maximum offence at that time for shoplifting was death by hanging at Tyburn. Mm. So you would go on the Tyburn Triangle. Do you know about Tyburn?
Well, that's where Marble Arch is now.
Yeah, but do you know... that's funny. Do you know the Tyburn Triangle? Do you know why it was designed?
Why it was a triangle?
No, you could hang 24 people at once.
Did it have to be triangular?
I don't know why they made a triangle, but that's what they made. It's called the Tyburn Triangle. Yeah. Anyway, but what my point is the fact that in common law there's a discretion. If a policeman pulls up a lady for doing something wrong in her car, he believes she's committed an offence. In common law, and she was pregnant, right? In common law, he would say the discretion of the law, I can use the discretion, I'll escort you to the hospital so you can have your child. In what we live in, she'd be having a child while they're writing the bloody ticket out. Because that's the difference between a corporate enforcement revenue officer and a policeman.
I think that's being a bit harsh. I mean, policemen are human beings too. Well, it might have happened because there are bad people in every walk of life as well as there are good people.
I've got all the admiration for the police in the world. A lot of my friends are police.
Well, then not all of them would stand there while a woman's in labour and write a ticket out, would they?
No. If they act as a policeman. But as a corporate revenue employee, collecting revenue, there is no discretion. That's why common law is so important, because it offers discretion. That's why a jury is so important in a court of law. Because originally a jury was 13 people. In common law it's 12 and 1, which is 13. They've made it 12. There's a real significance with the number 13. But the fact of the matter is that jury of 13 people, of your peers, people of the same kind of quality of you, and generally people who would know your character as well. So they could actually generally judge and say, look, yes, this man, this is out of character.
Well, you can't always tell people's characters by how they present themselves in court. The worst villains in the world present themselves in court as decent.
But their friends know they're the worst villains in the world.
Well, the friends aren't on the jury. Well, hopefully their friends aren't on the jury. But what I'm saying is if they're very good at pulling the wool over people's eyes...
If you're going to judge anybody, then you have to know everything about that person to be able to say if it was out of character. This is why the peer system was developed. This is why it was there. And precedent is a complete load of crap as well, because how can two cases be exactly the same?
Precedent, you mean?
Precedent, what they call common law was built by precedent. Common law has three basic values that was taken. They were ornate values that came. No one actually knows where these values come from. A religion got hold of these and made them into 10 Commandments. But the first bloody one says, thou shalt have no more gods. And you get on your knees, you're a servant. You're a slave. But they're telling you who that God is. So it could be anybody. King James Bible, in every court of law, lift it up, Jesus Christ is in capitals. He's a bloody fiction.
So what are you saying? That there was a human being, but he became a corporation. Is the Church of England a corporation?
Yeah. They're all Westminster Abbey's corporation in its own right.
Westminster Abbey,
House of Parliament, Members of Parliament, House of Lords, Privy Council. Social Services is actually PLC.
Okay.
Which is interesting. Check them out, Dun & Bradstreet. Go on to Dun & Bradstreet, type in anything you want, your local ambulance station, anything, you will find that they're all corporations, registered corporations. And the classic one is the schools. My son's local school is a trading name of Hertfordshire County Council. If they're if they're a business, there's someone invested in that business who wants paying back.
Shareholders. Well, I know these academies, these Tony Blair academies are...
Why are all the public services in this country registered businesses making money when they're meant to be public services paid by your tax? I won't say mine because I don't pay it. You. So why are you paying tax, income tax, and a good rate of income tax as well?
I've got to say, that's a question I ask myself quite often.
But you're paying such a good rate, and then all these public services that are meant to be funded off your tax money and your council tax money,
well,
why are they registered corporations?
Well, I don't know, but I mean, I do receive those services to some extent. You know, I do. If the house was on fire, the fire brigade would come round, and if I need to go to the hospital, it's there.
Why a corporation, though? All right, Watford General Hospital.
Okay,
it's the trading name.
Yeah.
Of the Hertfordshire NHS Trust. Right. So it's a corporation. It has to make money. It has directors that need paying. You know about that, don't you? They're called dividends.
Well, I don't know that. I do know that about that because I have no personal experience in Watford Hospital.
No, but you know...
I'm clever to say I've never been there, but...
But you know what I'm talking about. Not about the hospital, but you know about the dividends. OK? You know this is what corporation is about. So why are public services in the whole of the United Kingdom, corporations and businesses, when they're meant to be paid for by public money, our money, your tax money, why are they independent corporations, all part of bigger conglomerate corporations? You've got Hertfordshire County...
It's an interesting question, isn't it? Because you wouldn't expect them to be incorporated as businesses.
Why have you got corporate courts? Every court is registered as a trading name of the Ministry of Justice.
So it's just all about money.
Every police station, every police force is registered as a profit-making corporation.
OK.
The members of the Houses of Parliament are registered as a profit-making corporation, which means you are electing new directors. That's all you're electing, new directors. So nothing will ever change, because politics is theatre. It's complete theatre. What you see going on in the House of Parliament is theatre.
OK.
It's an outer government controlled by an inner. By the advocates.
Right.
The judiciary.
So I think what we need to talk about, I mean, we're going to go to a break in a couple of minutes. We've still got a couple of minutes to go. But what we need to talk about when we come back, I think, is we need to talk about how you avoid paying tax. That would be an interesting subject. Certainly one of interest to me. And also about money.
Oh, money's interesting.
I think that's an... Let me read out a couple of texts. Somebody says here, if he was injured without wearing a seatbelt, the injuries would be considerably worse and more expensive for the taxpayer and the NHS. Responsible people, and that's how long you get. So don't go longer than that, because I don't know what you say. Presumably you're saying responsible people wear a seatbelt. Yeah. OK, there's another one.
Attack the messenger.
Yep, I got here. Was pulled for car tax. Police made my two kids, 7 and 9, sit in my car, engine running on the side of a dual carriageway while I was processed. Well, I guess that's a bit like what you were saying, but she wasn't in labour, was she?